am so excited to have a very special guest on today. If there was a picture for the definition of joy and light, this woman would be it. Today, we're joined by the incredible Lia Valencia Key, a visionary jewelry designer on a mission to infuse beauty, meaning, and empowerment in every piece she creates. Growing up in challenging circumstances, facing poverty, hunger, and homelessness, Lia made a bold decision to create her own world full of light and joy. Through her brand, Valencia Key Jewelry, she shares a powerful message: choose joy, radiate light. If I can, you can. Join us as Lia shares her story, the profound impact of her mother's empowering words, and how she's spreading joy through her beautiful creations. Get ready for a journey that proves no matter the circumstances, the joy is in the journey. Lia, welcome to Life Without Secrets.
You put that together so beautiful.
Oh, oh my goodness. Well, I was up pretty late last night and I literally popped out of bed this morning because I was just so excited that I got to see your beautiful face this morning. And I can just tell you, it's just an honor to have you here. Like,
Oh,
I mean, you're literally a gift. And I feel like as a host, like, I just want the audience to just feel you because you radiate love and light like wherever you go. I know this because I've been in the room with you. I've seen you speak on stages. I've given you hugs. Like you walk in a room and it's not just like you are love and light, like you radiate it and you can literally feel it in your heart when you walk in the room. Like it
ooh.
is so special. It's so special. And I'm so lucky to have you here.
Oh, thank you. Every word you just spoke are my prayers. So
Mm.
thank you for letting me know that my prayers are being answered.
Oh,
It's
yes, girl. All the prayers, all the prayers.
I'm
But,
excited to hear.
right? I'm so excited to get going. So the truth is that you didn't come from a very light place, and someone would refer to it as a pretty dark environment, actually. So
Absolutely.
I'm wondering, like, I want people to hear your powerful story. I want you to talk about little Leah
Yeah.
and share about your childhood.
Yeah. Thank you. I love starting with little Leah. First of all, I
Mhm.
think it's hilarious that I go into third person. Some
I
people are like,
it's
what? And I'm
little
like,
Leah needs her own spotlight too.
she needs her shine. We need to comfort her. Little Leah is like the pinnacle of how you feel this light because without my upbringing and where I'm from, I truly believe you wouldn't be able to experience this light that I purely push out. And it didn't start in light, like you said. I started in the most darkest times, which I've labeled dark, the most impoverished neighborhood in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Born to a single mother. My mother had three children, only her. We were living in generational curse, if anyone knows what that
Mhm.
is. It's my mother was poverty, my grandmother was poverty, my grandmother's mother was poverty, and the generation of poverty just kept going down the line. And we went from poverty to destitute when my mother broke her leg in several places and she couldn't even afford the little. So we were living in a neighborhood with drug transactions on every corner, trash
Mm.
riddled in the streets, violence breaking out at any time. And my mother was able to afford this one little basement apartment underneath someone's home where it was a one room situation. We actually lost that apartment when my mother broke her leg. So the big pinnacle I remember the start was my mother getting us home from school and there's a padlock on the door.
Mm.
And so if you can imagine a mother with her three children already in struggle, all of the little belongings they had locked in, and now no place to take herself or her children, that immediately sent us to a woman's homeless shelter. Now I'm 44. At that time, I was about age 8, about third
Mm.
grade. I remember it in
Mhm.
school system form. So I
Yeah.
was super young, and the homeless shelter that we landed in was like a big gym room, if you can imagine a gym room. And if anyone knows what a cot is, it's this hard fold out metal bed situation. And there are these little cots filling the gym room 1 feet apart from each other. and one mother gets one cot to entire family. So you're balled up, all four of you balled up on a cot together with their little belongings, and they're crying and sorrow and profanity and hopelessness, just filling the room of darkness. I black out a lot of trauma, but I can feel that room every time I recall it. But the beauty is that I love to share about that moment is I vividly remember my mother looking down at her three children, me being included, and speaking out, "Your predicament does not determine your destiny."
It gives me the chills every time.
Me too, every time. And it's power in words. I love sharing that now as I evolve, because I'm like, that was honestly a seed of words planted in our lives that, to be honest, at that young age, I didn't understand.
Yeah.
I didn't grasp. But at 44, I'm living those words out. I'm speaking those words out. So I just like to pause on that moment and say, what are you speaking?
Yeah. Amen
Into
to that.
your life. What are you speaking into others' lives? What are you speaking into your children's lives? Because I promise you, the words have power and will take root and grow. And what do you want to grow in your life and the lives of your loved ones? So we continue to live in this homeless shelter situation. And the honesty is that was a beautiful seed that was planted, but it didn't take root at that time. I actually start to become, little Lia, start to become her environment. She starts to see activity.
I mean, teenage years are big emotions, right?
You
Like,
don't know.
and you don't know what to do with it.
Exactly. You're trying to become. You don't. You're literally a sponge, right? And you're trying to understand who you are and what this thing of life is. And so I just start to soak up what was around me as a sponge, and I start to become that. Failing every grade in school, negative behavior. And it was tragic. But this is where I like to share the first light was turned on truly in my life that started to make impact. I vividly remember coming back from school to the homeless shelter, and I'm walking down this path. I remember this path so clearly, and I see my mother standing at the door of the homeless shelter, and I'm a little nervous because the face doesn't look happy.
Uh-oh, you in trouble.
Exactly. What's happening? I get in front of my mother, and so I get in front of my mother, and she stops and she says, "Lia, do you want to be a follower or a leader?" And I paused because I didn't understand even where it was coming from. And she said, "Because right now, Lia, you're following. And guess what? You're going to follow and become everything that you see around you. Or, Lia, you get the choice to lead. You get the choice to choose the inside whisper inside of you, the light inside of you, and you get to choose to lead it all the way to your destiny. Lia, you choose." And she walked off. Powerful. Powerful because up until that point, I didn't even understand the word, or if it was a word choice, or what it meant. So my mother unlocked this power and concept of choice to me, meaning I choose what's outside of me or I choose what's inside of me. So that's why I love sharing to the world. Like sometimes we're choosing what the world is giving us, what we see, what others are doing. But then there's this inner self, this light that is beaming. I knew I didn't want to be any of what I was, but I didn't understand that that was the true voice that I should follow. And then she gave me this power of leadership that is so impactful. Like to be a leader is not starting with leading other people. To be a leader is leading yourself, leading your light to all of your callings. And I love that concept of like when you lead your life in light, then your light shines so bright that others start to rise and shine with you. That immediately took me back the next day to go back to school. And I'm looking, like I'm like asking my teacher, how do I get better grades? How do I see out of this environment? And so I would encourage anyone, when you're in a place, you're in a decision place, a choice place, the beautiful thing to do is ask how, like, and speak out your needs and not expectation. People are not there expected to help you. But when you pray your questions up, your needs up, and then you speak your needs out, just sharing them with the world, just to get it out of your body, these earth angels that are aligned and assigned to your destiny will come in and take you, even if it's 1 foot farther towards your destiny. They will be there showing up as you do the work. And that's
Yes.
where life just starts to open up for me.
That is so cool. I love the concept of earth angels. I totally see that.
Yeah.
You are an earth angel. Can I just say that? Like you are an earth angel. Like but let's talk about like give us some pointers cuz so you have this moment where you're like I get to choose. Like, I don't have to be the product of my environment. Like, I can be the light that's inside of me and I can create what I want to create. So you start making these different choices. You're trying to get help from others. You're asking for what you need. So you're starting that journey. Was there other earth angels that walked into your life that brought you from like that point, right? Because there's still so many challenges that we have to go through as we're like going on our journey.
Oh, you get more challenges when you start to swim opposite. When you start to swim opposite of the water current, it gets harder. It's
Yeah.
actually easy to flow with the tragedy and the trauma and the negativity because you're just flowing. It doesn't feel good. It's horrible, but you're going with it. But when you say I'm going opposite, oh, all of the obstacles just start to drop.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
then that's when you decide, am I choosing what I know I know my light and my destiny is. Like, I think the biggest thing in my life that I love to impart, what I feel is light, is get inside of you more than you are outside of you.
Mhm.
It's like your inside is going to tell you some wild things that don't look true, but that is your truth.
Mm.
And if you can really start to trust your inner light, no matter what it looks like outside of you, oh, it'll start taking you from light to light, from glory to glory, from
Yes.
obstacle to obstacle, but you'll be able to shine through the obstacle because you know it's just a blockage that's trying to stop you from what's true for you. And
Yeah.
you get to prove it wrong every time.
Yeah, and I think nowadays, I think what you're saying is so profound right now because there's so many things coming at us, right, from our external environment these days. Like it's almost hard to like let me just sit and listen to what's in my heart, right?
Yeah.
Like let me listen to that because we're so prone now to like wondering what somebody else is doing on the internet or like our neighbor next door or keeping up with the Joneses, whatever. It's like a constant part of our society now. So I think that that is just like the best piece of advice because we know we have this inner knowing.
And you're so right. Like now is even more challenging because no matter what you do, you get to see people's world that they
Hmm.
share with you, whichever
Yeah.
part they want to share. And through unconscious osmosis, you're human. You start to think like, oh, should I be at that level? Or oh, should I be doing these things?
Hmm.
And what I like to do for this comparison, the outside world and my inner light or my inner destiny is I like to use the outside world as confirmation of what's possible
Hmm.
because people are living proof. That's why I love what I create my pieces. Is like if you can wear Valencia Key, it is physical, wearable, living proof that whatever you dream, whatever you decide to go towards in your destiny, yes, it is possible because you can
Mm.
physically wear something from a young lady that was raised in poverty. The world said you shouldn't even hear a peep of her name.
Mm.
So that is living proof of your dreams. So just let it be confirmation for you, but don't try to align their journey with your journey. That's where
Mm.
we get into the challenges. Like, oh, they made this amount of numbers at this amount of time. I'm failing because I'm not. That's not
Mm.
the proof. The proof is they did some great things. I can do some great things.
Yeah. So good. So how did you get from like, okay, I'm getting some good grades to
Yeah.
now you have this like full-blown jewelry company, super successful. Like, walk us through that path, because I'm like, you looking at you, I'm like, you're making this look easy, girl, and I know that
Oh,
was not
it's
easy.
not. It's still not easy, and it's not super successful. I'm struggling every moment to get a sale.
Oh my
So I
gosh.
do it enjoy. I do it enjoy. That's what makes it look easy. But the truth is, everything is an obstacle. Well, here's what happened. My life, I like to say, flow with it. Like let your life be loose enough, do the dreams that you dream, and then allow your life to follow the path that it flows on as well, because it'll take you some random places, but it'll ultimately take you to where you want to be. From that moment as a child, I was the first and only person to get my undergrad degree and then eventually
Wow.
master's degree, not only in my
Woo.
family, but in my neighborhood.
Oh my gosh.
Powerful, but not easy. My mother was getting deathly ill at the time,
Mm.
and I was having to choose and split between going to school and then traveling back home with my mother. It's like, what do you believe in your dreams? Like, how much do you believe in your dreams? Like, you got to keep going. And I think the harder it gets towards your dreams, the more inclination that it means keep going and don't
Mm.
give up.
Mm.
I have been so many different careers to get me to this place, but as my mother was getting ill, right before she passed, she started to see my light flicker a little bit, just a little shine happening and the trajectory to change. And she lightly saw that her words were starting to make impact in my life. And one of our last conversations was, Leah, I see you shining your light. I see you choosing your destiny, and it is so beautiful. And she gave me these little earrings, and she said, life is very hard. There are going to be times where it gets super challenging, and sometimes you're going to forget that you have light within you.
Mm.
I'd love for you to wear your earrings every day, just so if you touch them, if you happen to see them in the mirror, let them be physical, tangible proof that you always have the light inside of you. All you have to do is choose to unlock it moment by moment.
Mm.
And those words, again, were major impact in my life, because as we know, life is very hard. And
Mm-hmm.
then we choose to find the joy in the challenge and the struggle. So I start to hand sketch jewelry for my therapy when my mother passed. I didn't
Oh
even
wow.
know a business was a possible for it. I just start to sketch like, oh, going through this journey, what would I wear that's symbolic to remind me to be rooted? What words do I ground myself in to take me through the obstacles? Peace, love, and joy. And I check into those. And I just hand sketch these in my, I think I have my little book here.
Oh
And
my gosh.
so I have my little beat up book. And you remember this? Where you had to
Oh
write
yes. Oh my gosh.
all my hand sketches in there.
You have it right there. I love this.
And so like these are literal hand sketch
Oh wow. Oh,
creations
this is so beautiful.
that I would hand sketch therapeutic for me. And God will take you on a path to get to you where you're supposed to be. I became
Mm-hmm.
so many things, from a waitress to a licensed cosmetologist. I got this master's in education, and I knew I love educating, but I didn't love educating in a struggle situation. So I was teaching in a discipline school, which was very rough for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided I had to move on from that. And that moved me to a place what pushed me to realize, like, let me go back to my mom's words and follow my inner light, because I
Mm-hmm.
was following the world. I didn't ever want to be poverty again. I never wanted to not have food to eat on my table. So I was trying to do the things that the world said would
Yeah.
give me income,
And you were
right?
probably trying to find security, I'm
I was
sure.
trying
Like
to
at
find security,
yeah, yeah. Yep.
like remote. I had no mother.
Mhm.
My
Yeah.
my father was very non-existent. He would pop in randomly, and then he passed. He
Mm.
was from Africa. And my grandmother had passed. So I literally, all my pillars, my aunt had passed in this series of time. I'm a living witness that tragedy does not define your joy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
I
I
know
feel
that.
like you choose to live in sorrow and be this darkness, or you choose to say, okay, this is not cute. I really
This is not
pain.
cute.
It's not cute. It's pain. But then what can I use from this to allow me to fully live? What can I
Yeah.
learn from this? How can I take these living people that were in my life that were so beautiful and allow them to live with me forever? And
Mm-hmm.
I choose to allow them to be addition lights within me. And so I speak my mother's words out. I pray like my grandmother.
Mm.
I put my shoulders back and speak boldly like my aunt. And I take these embodiments of their characters and allow it to live within me. And so there is, when I think of them, yes, tears may come to my eyes, but they are living lights within me. So when people say, how are you so bright? I allow others' lights to strengthen my light.
Mm-hmm.
Even people like you that I meet, like the love that
Mm-hmm.
I felt from you, the hugs that I felt from you becomes a part of my light. And so now I can share that love to someone else
I
and
totally
still
feel that too.
feel that. And,
Yeah.
and
I
that's,
totally
and
feel
then
that
your
too.
light can't burn out.
Mm-hmm.
If
Yeah.
you're living on one source of energy, light is
Mm-hmm.
energy. If you're living
Yes.
on one source of energy, it can burn out quickly. But if you're living on a multitude of beauty,
Mm.
beautiful energy, take the good, allow
Mm-hmm.
it to plug into you as a light source. Let the
Yeah.
bad go. That's called peace. If you
Mm-hmm.
can't control it, you have to release it.
Yeah.
If you can't create a different outcome from whatever it is, you have to release it. You have to give it over to your higher power and say, it is so. I don't know why it is so. It is so, but what can I glean from that to allow me to move forward? That's how I keep going. And so
And not only just you, but I feel like you propel other people forward too with you.
yes,
Like
it's my
you
prayer.
do. You do.
Prayer. I feel like we are on this earth, we're blessed to be a blessing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like blessings flow through us.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are a person that is a giver, even if you can't get it together for yourself, if you
Yes.
can get it together for others, I always talk about the heart math that talks about this energy
Mm-hmm.
from the heart that radiates 5 feet. It's scientific. The energy
Yes.
radiates 5 feet around us. You are impacting others 5 feet every step that you take. What
Mm-hmm.
impact do you want to make? And we decide to choose it. We can
Yeah.
choose it at a moment. Choice is now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Choice is not a think about. Choice is not a choice is now. I don't feel good. Okay, I decide to shift my energy into
Yep.
something different. And generally, to shift energy is to do a physical action. That's why I kind of love like the events where you're moving your body, or you go to Tony. It's like make a move. That's not like
Yeah.
hokey hype. Like people are like that's hokey hype. No. If you use it in your life, if I don't feel good, what will make me feel good? Put my shoulders back, smiling and
Yes.
doing something. That'll quickly shift. You may still be mentally holding a thing, but your body will change that. So I believe in that so wholeheartedly, and I allow my life to kind of follow that. So I have these hand sketches. They're just therapeutic for me. I know that this master's degree in teaching is really nice, but it's not my heart and soul. I
Mm-hmm.
went back into myself and got out of the world and said, if I wasn't worried about what the world said or what my life would be trying to run from poverty, what would I do? What would I
Yep.
be? What would be my joy? And it was creativity. And the funny part is, people say you're a starving artist. I'm like, darn it, why is that my joy?
Can it be wealth?
I'm like,
Making
be
yeah.
something like proven coin. No, it's gotta be creativity.
That's called that's called God saying just trust, honey. Just
Exactly. So
trust.
right
Yeah.
there, we learned about that from Coot, right? Like
Yep.
that's
Yep.
like I'm gonna put you to the test now. Trust me, because I have something for you to be in the world. That's the interesting part about it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I love that. Like, really trusting God.
Mm-hmm.
I say God. I don't know what you say, but I say it's bigger than you. And if it sounds crazy, but it's good, you've got to trust that there's a
Mm-hmm.
reason behind it.
Yep.
and you just gotta walk in it, and you can walk in it a little strategic. So I said, oh darn, God, creativity, that don't sound right, that sounds hungry to me. And so
Yeah.
I said, well, how could I do this and follow my heart and live in my joy and kind of remotely line myself up to have some finances? And I started looking at all the creativity options, and hair and makeup is a form of creativity.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually painting and cutting and angles just on human bodies, which is even cooler because, right, you
Yeah.
get to impact the soul as you do it. I'm like, I can get into that. And I knew that there was income behind it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
people will pay for this thing. I'm like, okay, I won't go hungry if I use my creativity in that source. So I went back with a master's degree
Wow.
and got my cosmetology license. My mother told me always to complete all things. So I went all the way and got my instructor's cosmetology license. I had defined, I love to do things humbly. Like, I don't care what the world says about things.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went back and swept floors in a salon
Mm-hmm.
because I knew that it was learning there. And I knew there was something bigger than me that I had to learn, and would have to humble myself. So with a master's degree, I'm sweeping salon floors, but I'm learning all this creativity about hair. And I'm also working at Mac Cosmetic, and one lady comes in, and if you are a professional, I'm not sure if that's the same, this is years ago, it would pop up and I would
Oh.
ask. So another share I love to say, ask a lot of questions. When I say ask, it's not to get things from people. It's asking in an inquisitive learning perspective. I believe the word is maven. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I learned that word real young, maybe in like middle school. And I was like, I want to be a maven when I grow up. And I believe that the word maven means just a consistent learner. Like, you
Mm.
are soaking up all knowledge around you. You live to learn.
I love that.
And if you start to live to learn, you grow.
Mm.
And so my ask, when I say ask out, I think you should ask for things to happen up to your higher power. But I believe that you should ask for learning out. So I just ask questions of people like, well, what is your professional thing? Like, tell me about that. And I was just
Mm-hmm.
learning different careers. And this one lady said QVC. And I'm like, whoa, what is that? And she told me it's a 24-hour network
Mm-hmm.
30 minutes away from where I was. And I'm like, oh, this is immediately I knew it was my destiny, and I didn't know why. I was like, that's what I want to do, because I didn't want to be a stylist just doing clients' hair over and over again. I just wanted to create with no pressure, like no ticket value pressure. And she told me that that was a place that was possible for that. So I set my sights on that. It took me 5 years to get in QVC. I got no's for 5 years straight. The fifth
Wow.
year, I would just speak to anyone I knew that I wanted to work for QVC. It became like a recorder. So what I love
Mm-hmm.
to tell, like, do you have a dream? Do you have something in your heart? And it doesn't have to be a business dream, whatever it is, travel dream, whatever it is, just share it. Tell
Mm.
everybody you know. And what I believe is, in poverty, people would say, don't tell people your dreams. They'll
Mm.
kill it. They'll knock it down. That's a scarcity mindset. Nobody can kill your dreams but you. You
Yeah.
own your dream. You own the power to ignore people who don't believe in your dream and turn the other way. But when you speak these dreams out, it gives it wings to fly. And what I know about human behavior and what I know about God is, God, as you're pushing it out of you, you're speaking it so much that you believe it more and more every day.
So true.
And if you keep speaking it out, there's two things that's going to happen for you. Either you're going to say, "Ooh, I don't believe that enough," and you're going to stop speaking it and you'll find your other dream, or you'll believe it more and more that it'll catapult you into another action towards it. You can't hear yourself say something over and over and not do an action to it.
Mm.
And then simultaneously, what's happening is human hearts are gathering this knowledge about you, and they're just storing it unconsciously. And what the divine will do is connect your aligned angel to bless you.
Mm.
And so over 5 years, I spoke this out, and my aligned angel came in a form I'm bartending. and I speak. It was an empty bar. One gentleman there, and my barometer was, if you smile at me twice, I'll tell you my dream, just because I figure you were nice.
I like that. I'm gonna use that from now on. If you smile at me twice, I'm coming at you with my
I'm
dream.
coming in with my dream. If you don't smile, they're probably not good for dreams. So this gentleman smiles at me twice. I figure he probably only smiled at me because he wanted to order a rum and coke. But here and up there, it followed my guidelines. So I tell him I want to work for QVC. And he's like, really? I work for Comcast. His name was Fred. Remember him vividly. And this is over 15 years ago. His name was Fred. And he's like, oh, I work for Comcast. But my friend, Stephanie Humphrey, she's actually my dear friend to this day, which is amazing.
Wild.
I never met her a day in my life. He says, my dear friend Stephanie Humphrey works for QVC, I believe. Give me your information. Let me see what's possible. And I'm like, okay. I didn't think anything of it. This late night, I give him my information. The next day, Stephanie texts me. Never met me a day in my life. But what she knew about me was what Fred said. So I pause here and say, how are you in your journey? How are you as a being, as you become, as you go through? Because that is what's going to take you to your glory. Stephanie's text specifically said, Fred, my friend, said you are so much joy and light. If there's any way that I can help you, please assist you. Your dream is to work on QVC. Do you understand how light will make your dreams happen?
Yes. Oh my goodness.
That is powerful, just by me being kind and smiling and open and welcoming and free flowing with no expectation. I told him my dream, but it was personally to get off my heart. It wasn't for him to do anything. He felt that. He gave it to Stephanie. Stephanie felt it through another human being.
In walks your earth angel, another one.
In walks my earth angel. Aligned and designed. She says, here's the contact information of the QVC salon. Here's the person's name. And on top of it, use my name as a reference.
Perfect.
Someone I never met that walked me in the doors of QVC. But for 5 years in the nose, I had been practicing. I had been learning. I never gave up on my dream. I was learning my craft. I never stopped.
So you were prepared.
Preparation towards, I would cry and I would go back and learn another hair technique. I would cry and learn another hair texture. So I had been learning for 5 years. I was ready now. I got the interview. I knew hair textures. I walked into QVC, and this was another huge light, because I was now in the space of dream makers, meaning these hosts that are going on air, shining people's dreams to the world, and people are purchasing them. And then dreamers. I'm styling dreamers who are making business come true just from a dream and a heart. And these two hearts. Now, I have so many earth angels that have blessed me. Susan Slauson, my best friend's mom, she's a lieutenant of Philadelphia. She allowed me to stay with her when I went back to cosmetology school. So there are so many earth angels that I could do a whole podcast to list. But I list these two earth angels because they unlocked what the possibility of business is for me. Jamie Kern Lima, founder of It Cosmetics, Believe It book, New York Times bestseller, new book Worthy coming out.
I can't wait to get mine.
I can't wait. And then there's an event happening in February that people should sign up for. It's becoming.
We can put it in the show notes with everything too.
So good, please. I don't want you to miss out on that. It's just a power source of goodness that will push your light even further. She took me under my wing, and then Vicky Sai, founder of Tatcha Skincare, Japanese skincare brand that I still consult with, work for today. They took me under their wing.
And you met them at QVC?
At QVC in the salon, styling.
Wow.
And I don't know if it's not my talent. It was my energy. And my energy, this is what I'm trying to drive home. The way you are will take you to your dreams.
Yeah.
Yes, you put the work in. Yes, you learn. But that being is a unique way to cut through noise. And so these beautiful hearts, they come along with me, and they traveled me around the world with them as a stylist. But not only did they travel me around the world, they allowed me to sit in business rooms and meetings that I never even knew existed.
Mhm.
They talk business to me and concepts and ways, and they showed me that if you have this intangible heart passion, like a true belief, like it cosmetics was about confidence, right? And Tatcha is about taking care of you from your skin to your soul,
Mm.
and these are intangible heart that they believe in. And if you take that and you put it into something tangible and you gift it to the world, it becomes life changing to the receiver.
Mm.
And I start to look at my life, and as I'm styling all these beautiful hearts, the last thing that they would say is, what bracelet do I put on? What necklace do I seal in? What earrings do I lock in? Right before they would do a big thing.
Mm.
And I start to realize the power of these physical pieces that touch your skin, that help you walk into your journey of unlocking your confidence and being with you as power. And I start to realize that my life was from darkness to being light, and that I was hand sketching these jewelry pieces that my mother told me to use symbolic for me. And if I would put my intention that all things are possible and that the light source of courage and bravery and kindness is all that we need to do to keep unlocking into these hand sketch pieces, it could be life changing. That's when I knew to create Valencia Key. And
Oh.
that's how the journey started from being exposed. I think the way to equality is opportunity, education, and exposure. I'm a living witness of all three of those beautiful things, and it will allow you to sit in a place that I couldn't even dreamed to
Mm.
be
That is so, so beautiful. What messages or feelings do you hope, like, when people put on your jewelry, what do you hope that they feel in their heart?
in. I pray that it unlocks that true understanding that they are greatness and light just as they are.
Mm.
I pray that it unlocks the possibility to go after everything that their heart desires with a zeal and a perseverance that is literally unstoppable. I pray that they feel connected to other people because other hearts are living out their light wearing Valencia Key. So it's proof that they're not alone. I want it to be
Mhm.
a community of togetherness, shining their light. And I pray that they are reminded to keep shining every day, because not only are they shining for themselves, they're shining for someone else that they don't even know is watching them.
Amen to that. I know. And, your story, I remember when I heard it for the first time and I got to buy some of your jewelry, and I bought one for my daughter too, because I
My
think it's
favorite.
so, it's so powerful, like, to be able to listen to your message and then bring it to my daughter and give that same message to my daughter. Like, you just created a generational impact, right?
Mm,
Like,
my prayer.
I mean, it's so true though, and I think, like, those are the best gifts, like, when it's like jewelry can just be jewelry, but when it
Yeah.
has, like, this beautiful meaning and it came from your story, and, like, I can feel the love, like, like, in your jewelry, like, because I know that it wasn't just, like, something you created to make you money, like, this is, like, sentimental, and there's meaning and love and light, and it, like, lives through your jewelry. I feel it. I
Thank
feel it.
you. And thank
I
you for
feel it.
feeling it. Thank you for sharing it. That is like the highest honor, for it to be gifted to children and siblings and people you
Mhm.
love, because I also want people to understand my struggle continues. So, like, I also want you to understand that you can sparkle. I love beauty through struggle. And
Mm,
so even in this entrepreneurship, I am struggling
mm.
every day. I am not a finance person. I am not a
Yeah.
sales person. I am no things that will catapult a business to success. It's just
Yeah.
not how my brain works. I
Yep.
am passion, I am heart, I am love, I am creativity. And that's what I want people to receive. So I'm void of that opposite part. So every moment of this journey of business and entrepreneurship gets harder and harder every day. And I'm okay with that because I want hearts to feel that too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I'm able to bring another piece out to you, that means I'm pushing and persevering just like I know you can. And that whatever you need to persevere through, that we can persevere together, not just young Leah in her past, but in this current part of her life to push through and gift opportunity and positivity to the world.
Yeah.
I also want to use Valencia Key as a voice and a blessing for others. So for those who can afford Valencia Key, it is my prayer that you purchase and wear and radiate to your dreams. And then I'd love to take portions of Valencia Key and give back to those who need a hand where I come from. So
Mm.
I go back into homeless shelters and I talk about trainings through like how how do we move out of the darkness to light to everything God has for us? Because it's not special to me. Like but
Yeah.
someone needs to see me physically, and so I go in and I start teaching my strategies. I even work in Africa, these hand beaded bags. Um,
Yeah.
Father was from Africa, and I always say he wasn't the best father. Wasn't good. But there was a blessing that came out of it. When he would show up when we were in home,
Mm-hmm.
he would say, "Oh, this is not poverty. Where I come from in the village, now that's poverty." And I'm like,
Mm.
I remember as a little girl, like, what? Something's worse than this. Like, I
Wow.
just had a broken heart for that. And I was young, and I'm like, one day I'm gonna do something about that. I'm gonna
Mm.
help that. And that would resonate in my heart. And 2 years ago, I finally got a chance to go to Africa with my dear friend TP, her husband. She's Liberian, her husband's from Ghana.
That's
And this is
awesome.
why you speak your dreams. So TP and I have been friends for over maybe 20 years with my best friend Patricia. And I would just speak my dreams about doing something in Africa to bring opportunity and income. Just sharing it. She speaks my dream to her husband. This is the power of speaking your dreams.
Mm-hmm.
2 years from now, I'm just going to Ghana to say I landed in Africa where I wanted to visit. Her husband remembers my dream from his wife telling him this 3 years ago. And
Oh,
the day I
wow.
landed in Africa, he said, "You said you had a dream to bring income to hearts that need it in Africa. I'm going to connect you with my friend, and we're going to take you to the villages that need help. And let's figure out how you make that dream happen." He helped my dream for 3 years.
Wow.
You don't remember your dreams, other people will remember your dreams for you. That's the power. And so I landed in this village, and it is so much need.
Mm.
Some areas don't have working bathrooms, running water. Some is just
Mm.
tin roofs where water's running through it. And because it's far from the city, there's no work opportunities. But there's art and there's
Mm.
creativity and there's craftsmanship all over the village. And I'm like, well, how can we use that? Because that's been my blessing, right? I've used creativity to feed my.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, how do I use my blessing that I was gifted to gift someone else? And I saw that craft of culture of beadwork. And I said, well, then I'll hand sketch. I had the vision of hand sketching design handbags. And then they use their beadwork, cultural creative craft, and they hand bead
Wow.
every bead. Every bead on this bag is done with love and by hand. And it's their joy and passion. And so that keeps women and men. There's one man who works with me. He's working on being a nurse. And so
Mm.
every bag that's purchased will help him be educated to get out of his environment. It's like helping a whole nother generation move
I
out
love
to
that.
what's possible. And that's the prayer that I want Valencia Key to be in the world.
Oh, and you are creating it. You're living it. You are living it. And I totally feel you, right? Like I feel like, not only is like going after our dreams for us, but it's for other people and just showing them what's possible and going from hopeless to hopeful. And I feel that like I was raised by a single mom. I was a teen mom.
Mhm.
And people were like, "Oh man, you had so much potential."
Mm.
Like and I was like, I still do, and I was like,
Central.
oh, yeah. I'm like, and so, I became valedictorian of
Yeah.
my college. Yes. And you want to know the most rewarding things on this podcast so far?
Tell me.
I had this past year, I had a girl, she was 19, and she told me she had a friend that was 15 and got pregnant and was going to drop out of school. And she sent her my podcast.
Mm.
And she decided to go back to school and keep her baby and do life and believe in herself. And I was like, that's why I did it.
That's why I radiate. That's why
Yes.
we are never done. We are never
No.
done. That
No.
is my prayer to be like our light is never extinguished. We
Mm-mm.
may have obstacles and hurdles and hiccups that the world may say is hiccups. Our light, it can get brighter through that. We use
Mhm.
that as our fuel to shine and help someone else. My dear friend, one of my best friends, her mother is the same. She had my best friend at a young age.
Mhm.
She's lieutenant, commissioner. She shattered all these wild dreams. Like, I'm
Mm.
like, what? You are never done. But we need people to show others that it's
Yeah.
possible.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
that's the power.
Yeah. Walk towards the light, right? And
Walk
that's
towards
what
the light. Keep
yeah.
walking and find it. Because it gets real dark sometimes. And you
It
gotta, well, where is a hole somewhere? If I could just find it.
and it will come through.
It will come through. If you're looking for it, it will come through.
Mhm. Yes. Oh
Oh,
my
so
goodness, this has been so much fun. I just love you, like, with all my heart, I love you. Like, how can people connect with you? And everybody needs to go buy a piece of Valencia Key Jewelry right now. This is going to not only support you, Leah, but also, like, people in Africa, like, people around the world. Like, you're going back and talking to people in homeless shelters. Like, this is just such a big worldly mission you have.
yes.
And, we all need to support that
Thank
and
you.
wear it to feel our love and light too, and be reminded when we look in the mirror and when we feel that piece of jewelry on us. So
Every
beautiful.
moment. Shine
So
it. Thank you.
how can we connect with you and buy your jewelry?
Yes, please go to valenciakey.com, VALENCIAKEY.com. I'd love for you to wear and share a piece of Valencia Key. And I love to say, wear it every day. Let it be a staple. Use it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want it just to be a purchase, just as an offering. Use it because if we make anything symbolic,
Mm-hmm.
it is just
Mm-hmm.
true. We put attachments to anything. And so we
Yeah.
can attach a meaning to anything. And so I'd love for you to attach that power to your Valencia Key piece. And when you put it on, I had wonderful hearts say they walked into editors' meetings where they got a book deal, huge book deal, writing
Mm.
down to someone super ill and just riddled in pain. It's a review on a website that literally made me cry because this is why
Mm.
I exist and this is why all the challenges are for everything. She said she was riddled from her body, and someone had gifted her these socks, these cozy socks, and she has young children.
Yeah.
And she said all she could do was reach and grab the socks. That was enough strength that she could get and get them on because her feet were so cold. And when she slipped them on her feet, not only did it warm her feet up, but it says always smiling. The yellow made her heart smile and remind her that she can push through to shine and get up for her children, if not for her. And so through the
Mm.
pain, she decided to smile and move just a little bit more so that her children could see that she wasn't done.
Wow.
And that is
So
everything
powerful.
I pray to be. So that's valenciakey.com. And then follow me. Put your email address in. I'll stay connected and give you positive inspiration. And then I love social media. I love Instagram. I need to get on the other ones.
Right? Me
Pretty
too.
sure. Right. I need to get on the top, but I'm not there yet fully. I'm there, but I'm not. But
I hear
Valencia
you.
Instagram. Lia Valencia Key, if you want to find where in the world I'm at, you'll find me dancing, doing fun stuff, or Valencia
Always.
Key Design, always, or Valencia Key Design. You get to see other hearts living out their light in Valencia Key, and that is just joy to me. I'm so honored to be with you. Thank
Oh
you.
my gosh. I am so honored to have you on. This is so much fun. Have you heard the word this is what's coming to me when you're speaking this glimmers. You know how there's like triggers like in trauma? Like
Yeah.
your jewelry is glimmers. Like
Oh, I love that.
like when you have those moments where you have those moments where you put that on and you feel a way. It's like the opposite of triggers and it's like a positive emotion that exhibits. Like that is what it is. It's a glimmer. Mhm.
I receive that, and I'm going to use it. Thank
Yes.
you. Let it be glimmers
Yes.
in your life.
Yes. So good. Well,
Thank
thank you so much for coming on. This is so fun. And I just thank you for coming on and sharing your incredible journey. I hope the whole world hears it. You're just so inspiring.
Thank you. I love you to pieces. I love
I
everyone.
love you. To our listeners, remember that joy is in the journey, and you have the divine right to embrace joy, love, and the pursuit of your heart's desires. Explore Leah's beautiful creations at valenciakey.com and let her wearable joy serve as a constant reminder that you have the key to unlock the light within you. Until next time, choose joy and radiate light.